Today, we're diving into something pretty amazing. It's a project where one of the oldest stories ever told meets some of the newest technology on the planet. We're going to see how the very first heroic epic is being brought back to life, not just from words on clay, but into a digital world you can almost reach out and touch.
So, the story kicks off with these epic lines, introducing us to our hero, Gilgamesh. He was the king of this incredible city called Uruk. Part god, part man, he had all this power, all this ambition, but as we're about to see, he was also deeply, deeply human. This story, it basically wrote the playbook for almost every hero's journey that came after. I mean, just let that sink in for a second. Over 4,000 years ago, before Rome, before even the pyramids were that old, people in Mesopotamia were telling this incredible story about gods and monsters, friendship, loss, and the desperate hunt for immortality. This isn't just an old story. It's practically written into our cultural DNA. And right, that's the big problem, isn't it? We can read the translated words, sure, but the actual world, the city, the sounds, the sights that shaped this entire story, that's all gone. It's a huge leap of imagination. So how in the world do we bridge that gap? Well, this is what we have to work with. Not some perfectly preserved book, but broken pieces of clay. Thousands of fragments that are like a giant cosmic jigsaw puzzle. These are literally the scattered blueprints of Uruk, describing everything from its massive walls to its legendary forests. So, the question is, how do you take all those broken blueprints and turn them into something real? Well, this is where things get really interesting. We're about to go from scattered clay tablets to a full-on digital city. And here it is. This is what you get. By feeding all those descriptions from the ancient tablets into some seriously powerful AI, you can generate this, a visually breathtaking and scientifically grounded reconstruction of Uruk. And this isn't just some artist's fantasy. It's a living, breathing city built directly from the source code of the epic itself. The magic behind all this is a technology called generative architecture. You can kind of think of it as digital archaeology. The AI literally reads the ancient text, the wall was this high, the gate was made of this, and then it algorithmically builds the lost city based on those rules. It is a total game changer for history. Okay, so what does that process actually look like under the hood? Let's break down how you get from a dusty piece of clay to a sprawling virtual world. It really boils down to three main steps. First, the data. Experts go through all those cuneiform fragments and pull out every single descriptive detail they can find. Second, synthesis. The AI takes all that data, all the architectural facts and story details, and starts weaving it all together into a coherent model. And finally, the really cool part, generation. The program builds the world algorithmically, creating a 3D space you can actually move through. And the level of detail here is just incredible. We're talking about being able to see the great limestone walls of Uruk that Gilgamesh was so incredibly proud of. Or you can explore the mythical cedar forests where he fought a legendary monster. You can even visualize the epic battles with gods that are described in the story. Now, what's really fascinating here is that this project is about way more than just showing off some cool tech. The whole point is actually much deeper, much more human. It's about trying to see this ancient world through the eyes of its most famous king. Because when you strip away all the algorithms and all the historical data, this entire massive effort is driven by one single, very focused idea. And there it is. The ultimate goal is to use this incredible reconstructed world as a tool to get inside Gilgamesh's head. The thinking is, if you can walk his streets, if you can see what he built, maybe you can get closer to understanding the man himself, what drove him and what broke him. And this gets us right to the heart of the epic, the very thing that makes it feel so timeless. It's a chance to look past the larger-than-life myth and really see the man at the center of it all. Because this is the central conflict in Gilgamesh. On one hand, you have his almost divine, tyrannical ambition. He's two-thirds god, and he's driven to build things that touch the sky, to conquer monsters, and to cheat death itself. But on the other hand, you have his crushing mortal fragility, his terror of dying, the intense grief he feels for his friend, and the hard truth of his own human limits. And this is the real payoff. When you stand at the base of his massive digital walls, you can feel that ambition. When you wander through his city, you can imagine his loneliness. This virtual world gives us a powerful new way to really feel that timeless friction between our godlike dreams and our very human reality. So it leaves you with this incredible thought, right? If we can do this for Gilgamesh and his city of Uruk, what else could we do? What other lost worlds, what other foundational stories could we bring back to life with this technology? And by rebuilding them, what new things might we learn about our own shared human story?